Imagine waking up buried under a mountain of debt. Not from yachts, mansions, or even a regrettable gambling addiction. We're talking about student loans, the financial quicksand that's swallowing entire generations. We're talking about $1.7 trillion. That's more than the GDP of some small countries. This isn't just bad luck. It's a systemic failure, a declaration of war on common sense. This isn't your grandpa's work hard, get a degree, get a job world anymore. Welcome to the Thunderdome, kids. We're going to dissect this mess, expose the villains, and maybe, just maybe, arm you with enough knowledge to survive the coming economic apocalypse. Buckle up, because this roller coaster only goes down. For years, higher education was sold as the golden ticket. Get that diploma, they said, and the world is your oyster. Jobs would line up, money would flow, and happiness would magically appear. The smartest guys in the room, the university presidents, the loan companies, and even some well-meaning politicians, all agreed. It was a sure thing. They plastered smiling graduates on brochures and promised a brighter tomorrow, all fueled by the sweet, sweet nectar of government-backed student loans. But sure thing is code for something else about to explode. Behind the gleaming campuses and graduation speeches was a house of cards, a delusion wrapped in optimism and seasoned with a heaping spoonful of greed. The truth, the system was rigged, the math wasn't mathing, and everyone was too busy patting themselves on the back to notice the iceberg dead ahead. The vibe-based economy was built on sand. See how messed up that is? The system was incentivizing colleges to raise tuition because they knew students could borrow unlimited amounts of money. The government was happy to back the loans because, hey, education is good, right? And the loan companies, they were making bank, packaging these loans into fancy financial products and selling them to investors who didn't have a clue what they were buying. It was a perfect storm of moral hazard, reckless lending, and good old-fashioned greed. This is stage 4 fraud cancer, people. These gaslight alchemists convinced everyone that student loans were a safe bet. They securitized the debt, sliced and diced it, and sold it off to pension funds, insurance companies, and even grandma's retirement account. When reality finally hit, everyone realized they were holding a bag of toxic waste. Then came the crash. The housing market imploded, the economy tanked, and suddenly that interpretive dance degree wasn't looking so valuable. People lost their jobs, their homes, and their hope. And those student loan payments, they kept coming like a relentless zombie horde, feasting on what little remained of the American dream. The Black Tuesday of the student loan crisis wasn't a single day, but a slow, agonizing realization that the promises were empty, the system was broken, and the future was looking bleak. People started defaulting en masse, the loan companies started panicking, and the government, well, they did what governments usually do. They bailout out the banks and left the students holding the bag. A bag filled with crushing debt. The hype train hit a cliff. The masks slipped, the gurus looked like fools. And millions of Americans woke up buried under a mountain of debt with no escape in sight. It was the Wild West, but instead of gold, people were digging for forgiveness that never came. So what's the hidden legacy of this mess? Where are the Roman roads built from the wreckage? Believe it or not, the student loan crisis has forced a reckoning. People are questioning the value of a traditional college education. They're exploring alternative paths like vocational training, online learning, and starting their own businesses. The gig economy, for all its flaws, offers flexibility and the potential to earn a decent living without drowning in debt. Furthermore, the crisis has fueled a movement for student loan forgiveness and reform. While the solutions are still being debated, the fact that the issue is finally being taken seriously is a small victory. We're seeing the rise of income-driven repayment plans, which are, at the very least, a band-aid on a gaping wound. And maybe, just maybe, this crisis will force colleges to become more accountable for the value they provide. Perhaps they will finally stop treating education as a luxury good and start focusing on preparing students for the real world. Maybe, hopefully, the uncomfortable level of ambition displayed by these universities will be curbed. The student loan crisis is a tragedy, a failure of leadership, and a stark reminder that the smartest guys in the room are often the dumbest. But from the ashes of this disaster, A new generation is rising, one that is more skeptical, more resourceful, and more determined to build a better future. A future where education is a pathway to opportunity, not a life sentence of debt. Next time, just touch some grass.